Hi there, this is Tim from Racing Central with an educational unboxing of NASCAR Racing. There was a 3.5-inch floppy version of this. I don't have that. I just have a couple of the CD-ROM versions, and they do differ slightly in that this one has an advertisement for Thrustmaster steering wheels, and the one that I'm actually going to unbox has a reference card, which the one that I just took away didn't have. So let's have a look at this first. It's advertising the Formula T1, or just Thrustmaster T1, as I think it was kind of known in general. The CD case. Still called Papyrus Design Group Inc. at this point, later known as Papyrus Racing Games or other things. There's some music tracks on the disc, which is quite interesting. Obviously this was released by Virgin, and this is the card that isn't in the other version. Not sure why that is. I'm not sure if Virgin actually was taken over between the releases. They both have exactly the same version of the software, which so interesting. Both are 1.21. Some pretty basic technical info there. Keyboard references. And some more technical info. Obviously the SVGA version was only on CD. The floppy drives were lesser resolution. The original version of NASCAR Racing that I bought was actually a green box. I actually don't have that one anymore, but that's how I discovered that NASCAR actually existed, was through getting this racing game. I had no idea that this existed as a sport. My family got up and watched Formula 1 at 2-3 a.m. when the races were in Japan and Australia and stuff like that, but we had no idea about racing elsewhere in the world, really. I bought this because it was a racing game and I liked racing games, and then at some point I found out that NASCAR was real. And kind of the rest is history. So obviously this is a fantastic manual. I'm going to take my time, go through the pages. You can pause, you can read any of this that you want to. Obviously there's no Daytona in this. It was under exclusive license to Sega. There were modding groups that made Daytona for this, but unfortunately they were given threatening letters by Sega and took it down, and that basically continued for about another 6 years after this, until it was first seen in NASCAR Heat. Championship points system, which I really wish they would go back to because I don't like the playoff system. Multiplayer racing. Torque mode. This is something that surprised me with IndyCar racing as well, and I guess I should have expected to find it in NASCAR racing as well. I didn't think that they would have voice communications in a game in 1994, but I'm not really sure how modems and internet connections actually worked back then. But maybe there was a voice channel, so maybe this was easy. Like when you called someone to play a game with them, maybe you could talk to them too, and it was just easy. I'm not sure. Arcade driving and the big F10 thing there. Yeah, that I kind of I think that opinion kind of damaged the sim racing community a little bit. It gave us a reason to attack each other for using a different view. It's not like you weren't driving exactly the same car. You know, I can see why a server might want to, like a league admin, might want to lock it to the cockpit view and force everyone in their league to use the same cockpit, but we shouldn't be forcing others in the same community who just want to have fun to all use the cockpit view. I do think that if a racing title doesn't offer a cockpit view, then it can't really call itself a simulation. I think that's different. But yeah. Talladega. I used to use Talladega as Daytona. I used to edit the calendar and edit the drivers even after each real race. I would edit the text file. I think the first season I did that was 95. I would edit the driver's text and I would use a 1995 calendar, try to get them to finish in roughly the same order as they did in real life. Some good information on setup, different types of tires even. 94 was there was a tire war, I think, that year. Some issues at Daytona, especially. There was both Goodyear and Hoosier tires available. And they do both differ in the software. If you choose to use one type of tire, you do get both benefits and penalties, the same as you would in real life, using one tire brand over another. Like one might be more durable, one might have more grip. I honestly think this is the information that's really missing for a lot of people these days is a good manual. Like, I think this really should be something that developers put some time into, even if this was done in the form of a video, you know, like showing someone, oh, there's the Hudson Hornet. Obviously the history of NASCAR here. But anyway, yeah, I think developers should be putting some time into even just making videos talking about like setup changes and how to do setups and stuff like that. Just trying to explain it in simple terms like the manuals did. Or just release a manual. Obviously there's some pretty nice profiles on specific drivers. And obviously specific events. The Alabama gang, obviously Neil Bonnet died, Davey Allison died. I don't know about the other two there, but yeah. Here's the paint shop, which was really cool. I didn't. I tended to download my car sets from other far more skilled individuals than myself. This is just an index. So here's the credits. Obviously there's Dave Kamer, Randy Cassidy, Richard Garcia. Yeah, there's the names that you recognize from the early Papyrus titles all in there, and there's a few that still work at iRacing. Okay, so I mean that was an unboxing of NASCAR Racing. This is the NASCAR track pack. This was a set of tracks that was an add-on. Obviously there was disc versions available again, but this is the CD version. This was released in '95. The game was originally released in '94. This was released in 1995, and it really added the you know the bulk of what you actually needed to race a full season. It obviously was by Virgin Interactive still at this point. Maybe the Virgin release that I just unboxed was a 1995 release of it. So here's the manual. I don't think they go too in depth with anything that's already covered in the main manual. They're just going through installation, tracks, credits, and technical support. So see the track list on the left-hand side. Charlotte Motor Speedway. So Jeff Bodine takes you on a lap round there. Dover. North Carolina, also known as Rockingham or The Rock. North Wilkesboro, which is now featured on iRacing, obviously. Jeff Bodine giving information on a lap again. Pocono, Richmond. Sorry if my nail looks gross, by the way. I actually almost pulled it off the other day, unfortunately. I got it caught in something. So yeah, I think this was an awesome add-on, and it added a lot to NASCAR racing. Still, obviously, did not add Daytona because that was a Sega exclusive with. Oh, there's Matt Santel from. Seemed like Papyrus tended to hire from their beta testers quite a lot. Matt Santel worked on Grand Prix Legends. So this is something that a lot of you may have never seen before. This is the NASCAR Racing Strategies and Secrets book. It was produced with help from Papyrus, so it's not it's not fake or anything. It involved them and got help from them and has quotes from them. There's even some setups on a CD that I've uploaded to the website now. That includes some from the team. So you can see what's in here. Looking at the contents, you can see how extensive this book actually is. I'm going to take you slowly through it because I think this is going to be really hard to scan, so I'm not 100% sure that I'll ever scan this because it would involve cutting the spine off, and I frankly don't know if I can get another copy of this. But it's a fantastic book. It's even more in-depth than the actual manual, which is saying something. Introduction to Papyrus. I think 3 of the 4 in that picture still work with Dave. Yeah, I obviously the 3rd one was Dave Kamer, but I think 2 of the other ones still work with him at iRacing. So it takes you through the cars. You've got a full profile of each car. Tells you what their strengths and weaknesses are, which were apparent in the game. And the setup change information, the way it's explained is all fantastic. The rear spoiler. Got to get that out of the air. Gearing, suspension. Over on the right, you've got like a quick setup change chart. Like, you know, what you might be doing wrong or how you might be driving wrong. Information on how to learn a track. Until NASCAR Racing 4, I felt like you could run way too fast, way too deep into the turns. In NASCAR Racing 1, 2, 3, 99, Legends, I felt like you could run really, really deep into the turns and then brake harder, and you could get around the turns a little bit faster. It's like you could take advantage of the physics a little bit. Now it's talking about pit strategy, which obviously I don't know if everybody experienced, but I used to do 100% races, and it was genuinely interesting seeing the AI kind of change pace as the race went on. And obviously you could do a full season. There's the point system, which I truly wish that they still had. I think a season-long champion is what racing should be about. Got some profiles of the tracks now. And obviously these profiles include the ones from the add-on as well as the original release. And it gives you so much information. Obviously the manual included quite a lot of information, but it really does add to that. And like I said, I used to use Talladega for Daytona. There was a modded version of Daytona around, but nobody really talked about it openly. And it wasn't perfect. I think NASCAR Racing 1 couldn't support like a straight pit lane. It had to curve with the curve of the oval. That's interesting. That's something I did not know until reading this, is that Michigan changed between version 1.0 and 1.1 and then version 1.2. I did not know that. I wonder what was different then. Like, it says it was repaved, but really that could mean anything. So here's some general gameplay tips, I think. Yeah. Frame rate. Still an issue to this day. You have people that will crank up the graphics settings and then complain that they can't drive the car, or that the physics feel weird, or whatever. And it's like they're basically just not getting the information that they need to be able to drive the car effectively. And it's always been a problem. Some basic kind of modding and personalization information, like how to change the calendar, to install car sets, paint your own cars. Here's some information on multiplayer racing, which I don't think I ever really did with NASCAR Racing 1. I got into it with NASCAR Racing 2, used the NROS application, and was racing from the UK, so I had a horrible ping, but was racing and had massive phone bills, just massive phone bills. So yeah, it's telling you to go online and download car sets and stuff like that. And then here it's talking about the stuff which is on the CD. So I've pulled the stuff off the CD and uploaded it to my website. If you go to the NASCAR Racing profile, just type NASCAR Racing in the search and you'll see it there somewhere. Go to the NASCAR Racing from 1994 profile, and up at the top right you can see downloads listed there, and I've posted them all up there, and there's the CD. So yeah, I hope that was interesting. I took my time going through this strategies and secrets book because I don't think anybody has this. So I wanted to take my time and make sure that I went through it, and that you could read it through this video if you wanted to. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.